Welcome to Nook and Cranny Gaming. My name is Nook, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build your very own Star Wars droids in the Fallout 4 DLC, Automatron. Once you find Ada among the twisted burning wreckage of her brother and her dead master that she swears she has nothing to do with, you believe me, right? She forces you into servitude and makes you build a robot workbench at one of your settlements, in order to get a few upgrades? You know, just so she can take care of that bully at school. Then you go after the mechanist, take his home away and his clothes, because that's normal, right? And then you're handed every single robot mod in the Automatron DLC. And seeing all these possibilities laid out before me like a dumped out box of Legos, first, I had a very intense panic attack. Then I found solace in one of my favorite things in the world, Star Wars. I found solace in one of the greatest things that's ever graced my life, Star Wars. Starting off, we're gonna tackle old Goldenrod, and first, obviously, make sure your paint is yellow. Next, let's tackle his head. Our first option for the head would be the Automatron head. It's human-shaped, and the head factory hardened armor has a very refined look that I think that C3PO would even be happy with. But our other option for the head is the Sentry head, which has a nice glow behind the eyes, and plus you can give him this face that I believe accurately represents 3PO's attitude throughout the Star Wars series. That's more like it. You're real worried about all those odds now, aren't you? As for the torso, the Automatron torso is the most human of the torso options, and the front factory armor even has an exposed stomach area where all the wiring would hang out. I personally went with no rear armor because I think the only flat rear armor piece had an antenna on it, and it just kind of threw off the look for me. As for the arms, we're going to be using the Automatron arm and the factory armor. And for the hands, the closest thing that I could find to a human hand was this thing that looked like it got ripped out of a claw machine from a toy store. Like I'm gonna be walking across the wasteland stealing little kids' teddy bears. I'll be right back. South of the border, of course, we're going with the Automatron legs, which are the most human-like, and we'll give them a nice walk cycle. Here again, we'll be using the basic factory armor. The factory armor has a smooth surface, which most accurately represents C3PO. And of course, don't forget the male voice. And there you have it. Old Goldenrod himself has come to life. But what's a C3PO without an R2D2? Now you'll notice that R2D2 doesn't have the trash can body that we're all used to, but I think this is the best we're going to be able to do with the available mods. First things first, he's got no head. And the torso we'll be using is the Mr. Handy Torso. Mr. Handy Torso has two great options for the top of R2D2. The top factory armor is a great dome piece, but the top primal plate I think is the better option here, supplying him with those front lens-like eyes. As for the armor on the torso, we'll be using the front and rear hydraulic frames. It has a bunch of tall, vertical vents and doors, and it looks like they would open and shut and have little grabby hands coming out. Skipping over the left and right arm, we'll be using the RoboBrain treads for the base. Whoa! R2's been working out. They're going to bump you up. And for the armor on the RoboBrain treads, I feel like there's a couple options. The basic factory armor is a great way to go, but I like the mid-actuated frame, which I think accentuates his size, and it makes the treads almost look like his little sidearms. The voice, of course, has to be a bleep bright voice. Also, I went with white paint, but I also think light blue would work here. And there you have it. Everyone's sassiest little droid. Make sure to check out my other Fallout 4 guides here, or my new Dark Souls 3 guides here. If you liked the video or have other suggestions for robots that I could build in the Automatron DLC, let me know down below. I'd love to talk to you. And I will see you in the next guide. Brand deal.